this video, we're going to look at the importance of employee motivation. We will examine why having a motivated workforce is so integral to a business's success and the potential implications when employees are demotivated and therefore not working as hard as they can. Motivation is one of those buzzwords that we hear a lot, but we often don't think about what it is or what it means. Often we don't find ourselves sitting around and thinking, why am I motivated to do this thing? But whatever the task, whether it's brushing your teeth, your paper round, or stacking the dishwasher, there is always a motivation to do the task. With some tasks, the motivation level will be high. For example, trying to get to the next level in your favourite video game. With other tasks, like organising your homework schedule, your motivation level may be pretty low. When it comes to employee motivation, this is one of the key elements of productivity. Getting things done. Because of this, it's really important we take the time to examine motivation and understand its value in the workplace. So, you might be asking yourself, what is motivation? Well, motivation is simply the reason that someone will act or behave in a certain way. You could also say that it's their desire for something to happen, or sometimes, even more importantly, their desire that something doesn't happen. At its most basic level, it could be thought of as how bothered somebody is to do something. The reality is, when you need to get employees to do something, you have to give them a good reason. If you want them to put in that extra effort, to really push forward to achieve the business's objectives, they need to see what's in it for them. Why not just work to the same level that they already do? Keep things just as they are. They need incentives that will encourage them to go above and beyond. Motivation can come in many forms, and it can be positive, or it can sometimes be negative. The truth is that finding out what motivates your employees to do well is one of the keys to running a successful business. Having motivated employees in your business is invaluable. Motivated employees are the building blocks to your success. But motivation is difficult to measure, and it can sometimes be extremely difficult to control. But if you can get employee motivation just right, it can lead to a fantastic culture within your business. The topic of employee motivation is particularly important as many workforces now continue to have staff working remotely. Businesses now need to motivate employees while they also have the distractions of working from home. To all the teachers out there, show all of these videos without any ads and gain access to our growing library of over 500 teaching worksheets. Why not visit BizzWizard.co.uk to find out more? Before we go any further though, let's introduce this video's main example. This is Jonas Clarke, and he has recently launched a small company from his parents' basement, and he has named this newly registered company DoomBoard Limited, and its first purpose will be to manufacture and distribute Jonas's very first official board game, Dragon's Enigma. Jonas has always loved tabletop board games, and a year or two ago he came up with a fantastic idea of his own. Determined to succeed, Jonas sourced a small business loan through a college program and has now hired his two best friends, Nick and Jess, to help him get the venture off the ground. Motivation can be contagious. If one employee is actively seen to be happy and engaged at work, morale will lift and motivation then spreads within the team. Jonas now needs to work out how to motivate his new employees to help him achieve his goals. At the end of the day, it's Jonas's business, reputation and money on the line, so Nick and Jess will naturally be less motivated to succeed than he is. To fully understand the importance of motivation, we need to look at the reasons why it should be a priority for Jonas as he gets DoomBoards off the ground. If employees like Nick and Jess are motivated, this will mean they want to work harder and productivity will rise. It's pretty straightforward. If you're motivated to do something, you will try harder. This would be hugely beneficial to Jonas as his employees will be constructing and packing his board game. If they work harder, more board games should get made and will therefore mean more can be sold, leading to increased revenue and hopefully improved profits. Motivated employees are also less likely to leave and more likely to stay within the business, meaning better staff retention. That means the business keeps their skills and experience as staff don't leave to work somewhere else, leading to a workforce who understand production and the business processes much better. For Jonas, he doesn't want to lose Nick or Jess as they know what to do, and having to show new employees would take time and would reduce productivity. Don't forget, lower staff turnover means lower recruitment costs. Why? Well, because if fewer staff leave, they don't need to be replaced, and replacing them will mean spending money that the business doesn't need to spend, therefore reducing profits. Bring this video and over 100 more to life with fun, interactive games, quizzes and case studies. Why not try the first 25 completely free by visiting BizzWizard.co.uk. If people enjoy their jobs and are motivated, they are less likely to be late or miss work, meaning lower absenteeism, and again linking back to improved productivity. And finally, happy, motivated staff will likely feel more part of a team, and this will lead to more collaboration and even innovation. Employees will enjoy their jobs, and they're likely to tell other people. And getting a good reputation as an employer can mean better recruitment opportunities in the future, as other people will also want to work for them. As we have discussed before, if you can get the right people working at your business, you are one step closer to success. However, if Jonas doesn't make efforts to increase employee motivation, or does try but gets it wrong, there can be some seriously negative consequences. Let's examine some of the reasons that employees may feel demotivated in the first place, before we look at the impacts that this can have. If employees like Nick and Jess feel undervalued, maybe because their pay is too low compared to their colleagues, or compared to those in other similar businesses, they may become demoralised and leave the business, or not be particularly productive. Managers like Jonas need to be careful when setting targets for employees, as this can lead to employees feeling too much pressure to achieve them, which can result in high levels of stress, and if the targets aren't realistic, this can also be very demotivating. However, one of the biggest causes of demotivation in the workplace is simply boredom. If your work isn't interesting or varied, and you don't feel challenged or engaged by it, then you are unlikely to put in the effort, no matter how much you're actually being paid. If you don't feel like you're trusted by your boss, you are what we call micromanaged, with someone watching every move you make, then you are unlikely to work to your full potential. And if your boss doesn't take an interest in you and your work, or doesn't give you praise and recognition for a job well done, then again, you're much less likely to feel motivated. It's going to be really important that Jonas has a good understanding of these causes of demotivation within the workplace if he hopes to have Nick and Jess giving it their all. If he is unable to get them motivated, there may be a number of significant implications. Firstly, if the result of high employee motivation is high productivity, then it makes sense that low levels of employee motivation will result in low levels of productivity. In fact, one of the first signs of low motivation in the workplace is when productivity starts to dip and less is getting done. This is a direct result of employees not showing as much care or attention, and they are no longer with you. Something needs to change. Each of the video courses over at BizzWizard.co.uk also includes an interactive business case study that applies the knowledge learned to a real-world scenario. There are over 1,000 multiple-choice questions, each with detailed feedback, which tests students' understanding of the content. Why not visit BizzWizard.co.uk to find out more? With low levels of motivation comes an increase in the number of mistakes. More mistakes being made means that less care and attention is focused on the task at hand. For Jonas, this could be a big issue, as Nick and Jess are packing up the board games ready to be sent to the customer. If they make a mistake and a game piece ends up missing, there will be some really unhappy customers not very impressed with his product. Often with a demotivated workforce, more sick days are taken. This can sometimes be due to high levels of stress, or simply because employees have stopped caring. If Nick and Jess start taking days off regularly, this will lead to Jonas struggling to meet the demand for his game, and therefore losing sales revenue. With low productivity and mistakes comes more customer complaints. For a new business like DoomBoards, this could be a massive problem, as these customers may leave negative reviews online, which could seriously impact the brand's image. So, we've seen that employee motivation is of vital importance, and that entrepreneurs like Jonas will need to have their workforce on side if they hope to be successful. The topic of employee motivation can be used in many of your exam answers. If something you are suggesting while discussing another topic will also improve employee motivation, mention this and the impact that it will have on productivity. In our next video, we will discuss the various ways a business can improve employee motivation, including both financial and non-financial methods. But whatever methods you choose to use to increase employee motivation and build a team of loyal employees that are fully behind you and your enterprise, this can without a doubt be one of the real keys to business success. This has been the BizzWizard. See you in the next video.